Hey everybody, thanks for joining me here at Power Mods. I have a pretty cool thing I just got in the mail from biteharder.com. Great products, I've used them in the past. You may have heard of them, I'm probably sure that you have. They make a really cool carbide sharpening tool, especially with this type of weather we're having in Eastern Canada, Eastern United States, even Central Canada, United States. It's not very good. We're touching bottom all the time. So you guys who are running the trails, you're wearing down your carbides. I know you are. And everybody knows they are, especially if you have to do one of those long road crossings, you know, between trails. So they came up with this great old tool to sharpen your carbides. Now I have showed you this in the past. I'm gonna go over a couple of things, how they work, and what kind of carbides to use them on, carbide runners. But I wanted to show you this because good old Glenn there at Bite Harder came up with this little unit. And it's a great little thing. All made in-house, machined at their facility. This is their carbide grinder. Now for you diehards who like to really ride the trails, some of my friends put thousands and thousands of kilometers on their sleds in a season. 6,000, 7,000 kilometers. It's pretty crazy. I don't know how many miles that is, a lot. They put a ton of them on, and depending on the conditions they're in, they end up putting new carbides on when they get back midway through the season, and they're expensive. Sometimes several carbides. Sometimes they wear right through the carbides, right through their skis, and they need to replace everything. That's when things get really serious. But this little unit here is kind of meant to be taken in your sled with you. You can put it in your little toolbox in your knapsack. You can just bring it with you, and when you need it, after a long day of riding, you can just pull it out and you can sharpen up your carbide. Then you're going to have a safe and very controllable snowmobile again. Now, I'm going to show you a couple different things. So this kit comes with the grinder, this little cord here, this extension cord. You can actually wire this right onto your battery in your sled. So it's just sitting there ready for you to go. It's got a standard kind of connector. A lot of Polaris actually have this type of connector on board. If you're lucky, you might be able to find the older ones. You might be able to find something that's just going to hook right up. Now let's plug this in and try it out. Make sure it's off before you plug it in. We're going to look at a couple of different types of runners here. Now, if you've got this diamond bitted sharpening tool here, it's actually pretty cool looking. Whenever my wife sees one of these, she's like, oh, look at the diamonds. They're so sparkly. Can you buy me some big ones? I'm like, anyway, what you want to do with your carbide runners is you want to maintain them from new. Whenever you use them, you want to make sure that, you know, at the end of the day, or if you had a bad crossing, you want to get out there with your tool and sharpen that up. If you let it go too far, you can take a look at this right here. See this carbide down there? It's all round. You do not want to waste your tool on that. You'll never sharpen that out. It'll take you forever. You'll wear this right down, and it's just a waste of money. So you're really not going to cure your runner if it's worn right down, but if you have one that's in really good shape, just a little bit of wear on it, you can easily do it. Now this has a little bit of wear on it, this runner, a little flattened surface. I want to see how this one works. See how well that works on there. Just light pressure back and forth. I'm just curious. I want to see if that made that much sharper. Can you see? Yeah, it did. Starting to make it sharper. This is just on the edge, I think, and Glenn's going to confirm this with me when he's here in the next couple of weeks. This is just on the very edge of what I think you'd want to try to sharpen. If it's too worn, you're wasting your time. I'm going to do it anyway, because that's what I am. actually not that bad. Let me see. Yep, that came out pretty good. Now, if we've got this one here, this has just a little bit of use on it. This is preferably what I would think you'd want to do. You'd want to keep this one here in very good shape. That's like new. Now, although there is that little groove in there, Simon, you were just pointing that out to me. Simon pointed out this little groove in here, right down in the center. He said, well, whatever you do, it's not going to sharpen up the very tip of that carbide. But I think it all depends on what kind of angle that, like if you're running this and, when I'm doing it, it's kind of sideways a little bit. It will be on your ski. I think if you're off to the side a little bit, you're going to get a sharp point on it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's just, if it's rounded off, it'll make it a lot better.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
And it's going to be perfect.
And you can see how far it goes down. So it's going to work down this carbide. It's going to keep it nice and sharp. Sharp carbide means a good day of running, means an easily steerable machine, it means a safer machine, and more smiles at the end of the day. I got to thank you guys for coming back as usual. Here's a Bite Harder 12-volt carbide grinder. It's actually a really nicely machined piece of art. How cool is that? You can feel the torque in that little baby. Look at that. Watch this. Oh my God. That's pretty cool. What else can we do with this? Make sure you check out biteharder.com on the interweb. Make sure you check them out on social media as well. They have lots of cool stuff on there. And they have more products I'm going to show you in the next little while. Thanks for joining me.